I can search for Ash, but what if it's too late by then? With how big this place is, he can be anywhere, and it's very likely by the time we come back, someone's already bit the dust. That and the cries grow louder against my ear the longer I linger. Almost impossible to ignore, drawing me in like a moth to a flame. For a moment I let myself shudder, shaking the uneasy feeling off my head. This can't be a good idea, not by a long shot. Still, I've got to try. Searching takes a while. Eventually I find a branch with the right distance and the height to reach the window. Climbing the tree to get to it, however, is a whole different story altogether. I haven't done that since I was a school kid, but even then it's a struggle for me. I do manage to make it work somehow. After a hard battle, a few bruises and scrapes in my arms, I'm hoisting myself up the window, and falling right through the room when the panel suddenly gives. The awful, putrid smell assaults me before the pain from the fall itself, and I have to fight the urge to puke right there. But what welcomes me as soon as I collect myself from the floor and open my eyes only serves to push the vomit up my throat.
Miss Hana?
Paleness has overtaken her body, her limbs and face beginning to bloat. And blood. So much blood. How many hours has it been? I would have approached her, but the foul smell permeating the room says all there is I need to know. She's been long gone. There's nothing I can do. I try not to gag, not to touch anything, my feet automatically backing away from the small pool of blood at her feet, from the bare walls void of any colors except for the words, "Help me." Panic quickly surges in me. Of all the moments to be here. Wrong place, wrong time. Shit. I've got to call someone. Ash, the authorities, anyone.
She's dead. She's dead. God damn it, she's dead.
Someone has to. A vase shatters at my feet. The sound of glass breaking, rending through the thick, foul air, sharp and cutting. But none of it sinks in. Not even the crunch of glass under my shoes as I take an uneasy step to steady myself. Instead, all I hear is the sound of footsteps and shuffling outside, their very urgency at odds with the hammering of my heart against my ribs. There is no comfort, no escape when the door opens. Mr. Luke Wright barges in the room wide-eyed and seething with fury.
There should be a law against noise this early in the morning.
His eyes shift from me to Miss Hannah, and to the mess of blood and shards on the floor. It doesn't take long for him to put two and two together, easy for me to see what conclusion he got. I open my mouth, trying to weave some semblance of coherence amidst the cloud of panic and fear in my head.
Hana? Hana, darling? Buttercup? Love? Speak to me.
I know this looks bad.
You! What did you do?
There is no question in that. Only an accusation.
I know this looks really bad, standing here in your house with a dead body, but I can explain.
You've killed her! You ones! Get in here!
Mr. Wright, this ain't what it is. Outside, there was a noise. Someone's crying.
You killed her! Hana! Oh, Hana! My lovely, beautiful Hana! I knew you were bad news the moment you showed up here!
You have to believe me, sir. It wasn't me. I swear to God, it wasn't.
For a moment there is only silence, an ache in the room abruptly tilting on its axis, dimming.
Call the police! Get rid of this rubbish!
Certainly. Will you be having tea this morning? Bring it to my study and clean out that awful skin.
Darkness falls. The pain is the worst when I come to. A sharp, piercing ache somewhere at the back of my head, begging to be noticed. But it's nothing I can't handle. Blearily, I open my eyes, expected to be greeted by sunlight. However, the walls that welcome me are unfamiliar. Curiosity killed the cat unlocked. When everything comes into focus, I recognize the place for what it is. A cell. Dark, cramped, with the only light coming from the moon outside, streaming through the sole window barred by thick metal bars. Memory rushes back to me in sharp bursts. The mansion, looking for Ashton, a familiar tune, and a woman crying. All while my head still aches from the hit I've received.
Still better than a morgue, I guess.
Gingerly, I pull myself up, stretching the cramps from my shoulders as I do so, but stopping when a sudden movement induces an acute stinging pain right through my arm.
Damn, they got me good. What time is it?
As expected, they've taken everything I have in my person. Wallet, cell phone, my keys, meds, even a small pack of gum. Protocol is protocol. In the first place, ending back in another cell ain't in my agenda. The first time was not a pleasant experience, and this certainly won't be either. Considering who's likely put me in here, could be much worse. The bars are cold to my touch when I approach it, looking for the person on duty. They'd usually allow us to contact someone, and Ashton at least has to know I'm here. He'll be pissed, that I'm quite sure of, but he's the only one who can help prove my innocence and get me out. However much I don't want to rely on him for this. The hallway in front of the cell is empty, but voices float through from further in, likely the poor officers assigned to late-night duty. Judging from the snippets of conversation I catch, today's topic over a snack is that moron who thought it would be wise to cross the rights. They used other names too, most of which I'd like to have words with them about in the future. But really, I'm in no position right now.
Excuse me? Anyone?
Silence.
Excuse me! I need to make a...
Blood freezes in my veins, and my grip on the bar tightens as the revolting scent reaches my nose. More than the gore, the foul smell of death hangs heavily in the air. And against my better judgment, I turn. Her face is the first thing I see. A gruesome sight on its own, eyes gleaming with nothing but malevolence, blood oozing from the large puncture wound on her head, mouth open wide in a voiceless scream. I clamp on the compulsion to retch. On instinct, I step back, putting as much distance as this cramped cell will allow between us. The bars rattle as soon as my shoulders hit it. A hindrance, not to freedom, but to safety.
Get away from me!
She moves in short, sudden, bone-crunching twitches, and I know there is no escape. I scream for help before I know it, jolting the bars with as much force as I could.
Somebody! Get me out of here! Anyone, please!
Bugger off! Some people are trying to get some sleep here!
No! She's here! You've got to let me out! She's gonna kill me! Someone! She's...
Oh, you poor dear unlocked. You've unlocked a memory fragment.